Hi there, and welcome to today's business success conversation with me, Michael Carthy from Carthy Accountants, helping you get the business you want. Once again today, I am joined by Adam, Edith and Lucy, the CRMs from Carthy Accountants. And today we're going to be talking about finance departments. That's internal, external, or a combination of both, and the impact that they can have on you as a business owner running your business. So let's talk about the role of a finance department within a business. Now, that could be a finance department that you have outsourced to an accountancy firm, such as us, or it could be you have a finance manager, a finance director, you have a full finance team, or you want to mix and match. So you might have a finance manager in-house and you want an accountancy firm or someone to be your finance director. You can actually just get finance directors out there. Whatever way you look at it, and depending on the size of your business, what is the importance of having a finance function within your business?
To have a finance function is effectively to have eyes on the financial data at any moment in time. So you should be able to go to your finance director or the finance team and ask them for the information as a business owner or a manager and understand what are the numbers telling us and how is that translating for us running the business. So effectively, your finance team should tell you that information, should interpret the numbers and make it usable for you.
So I would refer to that as having their finger on the pulse. Your finance team has to have their finger on the pulse of what's going on at all times. Great, Adam. Thank you. Edith.
So for me, it's having people that are dedicated to just that function. So you haven't got someone that's split between having to raise sales and suddenly generate income. They're actually there to be monitoring the numbers. So they're there to be able to report back on historic information, to be able to advise on future information.
So similar, but I'd call that focus. So finger on the pulse and focus.
I think for me, it's having the people there with the expertise to be able to, like you say, interpret the numbers correctly, having accurate reports, and also interpret them, like Adam says, for you for the important information they feel will help you develop your business.
So expertise, finger on the pulse, focus and expertise. Absolutely perfect. I think for me, which again is probably nothing that you three would think automatically because of doing it, is, and it kind of falls in with expertise, a business owner shouldn't have to worry about the figures. They should only have to worry about the figures they need to worry about. Because what they're doing, let's say they're a marketeer, they should be out there doing marketing work. They shouldn't be there trying to do their bookkeeping at 6 o'clock at night, their VAT on a Sunday, trying to work out certain statistics that they're not expertise out. They could probably tell us the algorithm of a advert on Meta in 10 seconds that would take us 3-4 hours to work out, or how to put an advert onto LinkedIn that we haven't got a clue about. We're the opposite to that. We are there to tell them, these are your financial figures. If I was you, once you get to finance director level, you are going to be saying, okay, now is the time to spend this amount of money. Now is the time to do this, etc., etc. So obviously, let's just talk about the options. You've got internal finance department. Let's have a little bit of talk to me about an internal finance department, Lucy.
So internal finance department, a team directly within your business. That could be one dedicated individual, could be a team of individuals, but someone within your business directly. They're employed by you, and they will be, I suppose benefits to that are they are potentially in your offices, based with you. They see day to day everything that other team members are doing. It's just somebody based directly within the business and having a close eye on everything that goes.
Great. All of those points are wonderful, Lucy. And are there any downsides to an internal finance department?
Yeah, some of the downsides could be, say, if you've got maybe one individual or just a limited individuals, that if they're on annual leave, if they've got sickness, there's somebody there to cover their role, to have a look at the day-to-day stuff they're looking at. Whereas outsourced, there is potentially a team built around them that can jump in and support with that.
Okay. So talking of outsourced then, Edith, let's hear what an outsourced finance department is?
An outsourced finance department allows you to have someone external to your business operate your finance department. And again, it might be a team of people that are doing that for you, depending on your size, or an individual. And they can basically operate at whatever level you want them to do. So you still get to dictate what you want them to do, but they are not one of your employees. So they will be doing the functions for you, but not necessarily in your office. There are options to have it within your office. But you have the advantages of all the negatives that Lucy was just mentioning, whereby generally if you're outsourcing, there's more than one person that can cover that role. If you've got annual leave, you can make sure that there's people that can cover other people's, and the same for sickness. You've also got the advantage that they're not just seeing your work all the time, so it keeps their mind open to other options. They'll come across more examples of other clients that have come across similar situations.
Okay. And obviously, to be impartial, some of the negatives, please.
They're not necessarily going to see everything that's going on. If they're not in your office and they're not doing it day in, day out, 9 till 5, they're not going to know the ins and outs. A good outsourced department will understand it and be able to keep an eye on what's going on, but they're not going to have the same feel as someone who's internal.
Thank you. So, Adam, you get the interesting one then. A mix and match approach, half and half. Explain how that could kind of work.
So a mix and match approach works best, I think, because it supports the team on the ground, the business and the finance internal function, but also allows a step back from it, a step back approach, utilizes expertise and knowledge from outside. So sometimes business owners can become pigeonholed and get so used to their day-to-day operations that they're actually blindsided to changes outside. So having an external finance department who's up to date with knowledge and key information in the market and industries can be brought into the business and help, facilitate better growth and strategy decision making. But ultimately, it's communication and working internally and externally, and having all parties on the same page is where you want to be going with this.
Yeah, I think there really are such good pros and cons for both sides. For me, outsourcing most of the time is more cost effective because actually with the expertise of someone, either the outsourced person can do it in a quicker time, or they're just not needed as much. You also have the knowledge gap thing. So for instance, with us, if an inquiry comes in to Carthy Accountants from one of your clients and you don't know the answer, you've got 2 more people to ask. Well, in fact, we'd put it out to the whole team, but here with CRMs. So actually, we'll go back to I think you don't know what you don't know. Therefore, you've always got the backup to ask someone else, which is always a positive. I think I agree with internal. You have a lot closer control of what's going on. The person is there, that's all they're doing, therefore they're going to have the finger on their pulse constantly. Also, I know for us, if whoever said that that's all they're doing, the fact is, if that's all they're doing, when as a business owner you have a question, you've got it like that. Whereas when you're outsourcing to say us, we then got to find the time within our schedule to get it done. And depending on, the service level with that client depends on the time that takes. For me, however, I think the crux of it is most business owners will outsource before they do it in-house because of the size of their business. The fact is, a business, and a lot of big businesses will have internal accountants, not just a finance department. And the first thing you'll find that people outsource within a business is their admin, followed by their accountancy. So, if you've got the right accountant who can sit with that finance director's hat on, you've got the best of both worlds. What's really important, though, is that they get to learn the business. They get to know the business inside out, because otherwise, if we go back to previous conversations we've had, it's the blind leading the blind and no one actually knows what they're doing, which is where the trust builds. And you have to have trust with your accountant. You have to teach them what you do. They need to basically know what your business does so that they can offer the advice, they can offer the help. So In terms of let's we've spoken internal, external. It kind of doesn't matter. Let's talk about that finance department, the benefits that they can have in, say, decision making. Because if we haven't decided whether we can afford a piece of machinery, and again we go back to looking, there might be £100,000 in the bank, but that might not be ours, because 60 might be owed to the VAT man and the rest is corporation tax. Whereas I'm a business owner, I can go and buy a new Land Rover with that or something ridiculous. We've obviously spoken about internal, external, and I kind of don't want to make that the whole conversation. It's kind of irrelevant, really, whether it's internal or external. I think what we're all agreed on here is it's needed within business. Once they get to a certain size, you have to have a finance function. Let's look at and for me, there are only positive impacts that a finance department can have. So give me a positive of what a finance department can give you.
I think for me, going back to the expertise that this individual or individuals will have is very important, and it gives the business owner peace of mind that they're doing everything correctly, they're compliant with what they need to be as a director, for example, and also, things are going in on time. It's giving them the knowledge of potentially things they're not aware of, tax bills, VAT bills, deadlines, all of that sort of stuff. It's peace of mind that they will sort all of the sort of.
So essentially, they're hitting their compliance. I was going to say hitting their compliance needs. Absolutely. The fact is, if you're good at one thing, doesn't mean that your corporation tax is due 9 months after year end.
9 months or 1 day.
There you go. I'm the business owner. Edith, impact.
For me, it's the efficiencies. It's very much a case if you've got a function that, if you have a finance department or finance function, there's an efficiency in making sure you've got the information to hand at any given time.
Great. Adam?
Yep, for me, having a well-oiled finance function signifies the next chapter of your business growth. Things are working well. You've now got the ability to have immediate access to financial data to facilitate the growth that you're looking for in the forms of budgeting, forecasting, how your cash is looking, how your profit's looking, and then going into deeper, strategic conversations. Again, aligning back to business plans and ultimately meeting goals and targets.
And I'm sure it'll come as no surprise to anyone watching. We can obviously help with finance department needs, as we do with plenty of our clients anyway. As always, absolute pleasure to talk to you guys. Hope you've enjoyed watching today's business success conversation with Carthy Accountants, helping you get the business you want. If you enjoyed it, like, follow, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on the next business success conversation.